But I'm scared.
No, I am too. But it'll be okay. Come on, wipe your eyes.
Will you tell me a story?
Story. What would you like to hear?
The three pigs.
The three pigs?
Yes.
All right. There were once three little pigs that lived in a house made of paper at the edge of a forest. Yes.
What were they called?
What was it called? Peter, Polly and Pat. Yeah, three little pigs. They were so happy in that house, George. They were so content. But what they didn't know was that in the nearby forest there was a huge wolf on the road.
Oh,
Yes.
what was it called?
It was called the Black Wolf, and he roamed the forest day and night looking for food. One day he came to the edge of the forest where the three little pigs lived. He got closer and closer. The little pigs were completely unaware of the danger that faced them. They heard a very strange noise outside their house.
Oh,
Yes.
were they scared?
George, they were absolutely terrified and they were shaking. And each one came out the door. And there they saw the big black wolf ready to pounce. They ran back in the door and blocked it so he couldn't get in. But outside, the wolf bellowed. Little pigs, I'm going to huff and puff and blow your house down. And before they knew it, he'd blown their house away and they were left stranded. He got closer and closer and gobbled them up one by one. The end.
That was rubbish.
That's the end of the story, George.
I like the stories Mum would tell us.
Me too.
I miss her.
I miss her.
To tell a story like Mother used to.
All right. How could it begin?
It always begins once upon a time.
Once upon a time. All stories start like that. That's so boring, George.
And it finishes and they lived happily ever after.
Not everything finishes happily, George.
How does this begin?
It begins in a castle in the sky.
Oh,
A castle in the sky, George. Two little children were trapped in a cage.
oh. What were they called?
They were called Helen and George.
Like us?
Yes. And they were trapped in a cage right at the top of a huge tower. And they'd been there for days. And the only thing that was around them was horrible birds that would peck at them.
Oh. Were they parrots?
George, they weren't parrots. They were awful vultures that would peck bits of their flesh when they were hungry.
Oh.
That's just the sound of the giants that lived in the big castle that hated children and wanted to eat them all.
No, they were nice giants who liked children.
No, George, all giants are evil. Of course he didn't like children.
No, these giants who were nice and they drank cups of tea
Right, there was a giant who was nice, drank cups of tea, but he was a strong giant that fought dragons.
Yes.
And he was there to help the children, to help Helen and George find the dragon's heart.
I see. My birds have left something interesting. What can it be? Why, it's a couple of human children. What are you doing up here, children? Oh, you're on an adventure. Oh, what sort of adventure, I wonder? A mighty quest, perhaps? Or a treasure hunt? You're after a dragon's heart? But why? Oh, you want to help find your lost mother and take her home. Well, you are in luck, for you see I know all about those terrible beasts. For you see, there was once a great race of giants. They were a peaceful and loving people who enjoyed the finer things in life. Why, I remember Rum Bum Bum made the finest cup of tea, and old Jingle Jangle was the best juggler in town. Yes, a finer juggler they could never be seen. Then, one day, the great mountain spewed forth a terrible, evil dragon. The dragon was the meanest, most evil dragon around, and he traveled to our land, and he plundered it. Yes, many days me and my people tried to fight the dragon, but when we tried to fight the dragon, we were simple in our ways and used rocks and stones, bows and arrows against the lightning. Yes, the dragon was too fast and strong, and he killed all my people, and only I survived with my burnt arm. And now I live all alone, and my only friends are the birds. And since I could not succeed in saving my people, I dedicate my life now to saving those lost souls on earth. So, if you are sure you seek the dragon, I will help you, but I shall only take you to the foot of the mountain, for it does breathe fire, you know. So Godspeed on your quest. Godspeed.
I like that story. I like giants. What happens next?
Well, they're at the foot of the mountain. Shh.
They're coming!
Quick, George, turn up the light.